Jackie Robertson with Berkshire Hathaway Georgia Properties, and today is April 7th of 2020. And as promised, I am going to update you on what's happening in our real estate market and how that could potentially affect you if you're considering buying or selling right now, or how that could affect someone that you know who is making that consideration. So, and as I'm doing this video, Luna is laying at my feet, my Great Dane. So, just really quick, we are in sheltering in place in the state of Georgia. Realtors are considered essential. However, they are telling us that we don't really need to go out with clients unless they're already pre-qualified. And we need to work with sellers and buyers who both have an immediate need and are ready to go as far as making a home buying decision. So other than that, we're trying to work virtually as much as possible, whether that means a virtual showing, a virtual open house, those kind of ways or mediums to be able to assist our clients in reaching their goals. So with that said, as I said, I wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on in our market. So it's April, and normally in April we would be in the middle of our spring market. It would be a very active time right now. And there are still people buying and selling. However, is it as brisk as it would normally be? Definitely not. Just to kind of give you an idea, our inventory as of actually this past weekend was 692 houses in Coweta County. Houses, pieces of property, that includes some commercial, for sale in the county, which is a little lower than we would normally be. We actually have 365 contracts that are under contract. Now keep in mind, some of those might have gone under contract and might be new construction, so it went under contract prior to the COVID-19 crisis starting. Some of it could be pieces of property that have already gone under contract during this past almost month that we've been dealing with this. So 221 houses have sold since March 13th, which was really when all this started to go crazy. And there were 73 sales in the past week, which included the end of the month of March, which that's when there's a lot of houses that sell traditionally at the end of the month. So again, those would have been units that had gone under contract previously. In the last 7 to 10 days, we've had 97 new listings hit the market, and 81 have gone under contract, 81 pieces of property in the last 7 to 10 days as well. So I say all that to say, again, that the market is continuing to move, and it's just not at the pace or at the speed that we certainly have seen normally in a spring market. The people that you have out buying and selling right now are people that maybe need to buy or sell for personal family reasons, for relocation. It's more of that type of home on the market, because we do have people who are waiting until this is over. They're trying to decide what their step is going to be when we get on the other side of this. And so for that reason, they're either holding back right now, or they're just kind of doing their research online to see what they want to do when this is over. So along those lines, I wanted to talk about just 3 or 4 things that we see happening in the marketplace right now. First of all, if you had been looking at possibly doing a jumbo loan this spring, that type of loan by several lenders has basically been suspended at this point. So if you were looking at a jumbo, that may not be an option. If you were going to be an FHA buyer in the spring, then you need to look at your credit score, get in touch with your lender, because we're seeing minimums go to about 640 to 680 range. And so you need to make sure that you're talking to your lender to make sure that you can still do an FHA loan. The other interesting thing that we're starting to see is iBuyers. If they're not buying houses now, so if you were going to sell your house to Zillow, if you were going to OfferPad or Opendoor, they're not buying houses anymore. So for example, if you were building new construction and your plan was to sell it to one of those companies, that's no longer an option, and you're going to need to sit down with your real estate professional and talk about what your strategy is instead for getting the house sold prior to your new construction build being complete. Also, just one more thing that we're starting to see in the marketplace in the past week or so. There's a lot of different government programs out there to help people that maybe their jobs have been furloughed, maybe they are unemployed due to the COVID-19 crisis. One of the things that's out there is loan, not forbearance, I think is the fancy word, the mortgage term. Basically, it means that you can stop making payments for a certain amount of time. What that means, though, is those payments are being put on the back side of your loan, if you will, so you still owe that money. And in some cases, they may say, well, we'll give you 6 months where you don't have to make the house payment, but in month 7, all of that is due. So if that's something that you are thinking about, please talk to your lender. Please get the specific details and find out what is going to be the best program for you out there if that's something that you truly need. And my other question is, or my other comment is, if it's not something that you feel you're going to need right now, then really reassess whether or not you should apply for that type of program, because you still have to pay the money, you still have to pay the loan back, you still have to pay that in the future. So just a couple things that I wanted to go over with you and continuing to update you on what's happening in the market. One more thing before I go, I wanted to share that if you do know someone who is planning on buying or selling once we get through this COVID-19 crisis, then I'm doing Zoom meetings. We can do a 25-30 minute Zoom meeting to talk about your plan, talk about what might be the best thing to do. And we can do that in the comfort of our own home, so we don't have to get out and no one has to be exposed. So that's just another way that we as agents are working virtually. If you have questions, if there's anything else I can help you with, and I should have led in this video with saying if there's something that I can help you with, if there's a need that you have specifically, I want to be able to help and assist with that, and please let me know how I can do that. I'm Jackie Robertson with Berkshire Hathaway, Georgia Properties, and I look forward to updating you next week.